What's good? Oh, the weather outside is rizzy. It is the most wonderful time of the year, Christmas time, a time of giving and receiving presents, joy, cheer, and with this jolly time comes a batch of jolly tunes that get on replay every year for a month. Some songs I personally like more than others, and some other songs you may personally enjoy more than the ones that I enjoy. Nevertheless, I have a certain opinion on some of these that I would like to say today. Some songs I like, some other songs that I'm not really a fan of. So we're taking it to the classic tier list model. We're gonna go over each of these songs. I took it to the Billboard charts to see what was popping this year, and I grabbed a few extras outside of it as well. So we're gonna run through the list, give our thoughts, our opinions, our hot takes, all while having a jolly spirit. All right, we're not gonna try to be too negative here. First up, we got kind of the song, dare I say, the most popular Christmas song of all time. Now, it's so overplayed and so saturated that I can't fully enjoy the song just because no matter where you go, there's going to be a few times in the month of December where you are unwillingly going to hear this song. So it can't really be a personal favorite because I mean everyone's playing it, everyone's loving it. I do think it's a banger. I love the bridge, and if there's anything that's guaranteed in life, it is that Mariah Carey has a big check coming her fucking way every December, and I gotta respect that. While I do think it is a great song in itself, I think it doesn't really get me. It doesn't really get me on the jolly level that I want to be at most of the time during this month. So, with that being said, I'm gonna throw it in the A tier, all right? Because I think it is good. It's just not really quite S, and I can't put it in B just because of the impact that it has. So, I think A is a good spot for it. Oh, fuck. Next one is I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas by Gaia Peavy. Everything important that has happened to me in my life has led me up to this moment right here. The moment where I can finally pull down my pants and take a big fucking shit on this song. This spoiled little fuck. No one, and I mean no one, is getting your dumbass a fucking hippopotamus. That's not happening. Furthermore, a hippopotamus doesn't even want to be with you. I mean, why? What makes you think that your little 4-year-old, 5-year-old, or you do not have the capabilities and responsibility to handle an entire hippopotamus? All right, life is not peaches and cream. All right, sorry, I don't want to hate. I don't want to hate on the kids, but fuck them. Going in the F tier. F standing for fuck out of here. Next is Happy Christmas, Happy Xmas, War is Over from John Lennon and Yoko. I do think that this is the best Beatles Christmas song, although I only know one of two on this list. We'll get to that one. Okay, we'll get to that one. This has a certain anti-war message kind of woven into this song, I think directed towards the Vietnam War at the time. This song is kind of dramatic. Since it was created during that time, it is very much for that time, which is probably the reason why I couldn't find it on the Billboard 100 chart, so it's completely fallen off from there. However, I do love the sound of this song. I think it is one of my personal favorites, to be honest. I think Yoko's background vocals go incredibly hard. I love the climax of the song and how dramatic it starts in the beginning as well. All right, I'm going to throw it up in the A tier. Next is White Christmas by Bing Crosby. I think my main problem with this song is just the mix and the master. You would think that it was recorded in like 1947. So, I mean, with that being said, whenever I hear it, I'm just kind of like, ugh, it's just so old. I can't really get down with it. Plus, I think Bing Crosby has some other Christmas covers that outweigh this one, and it's just better. Plus, it's also racist, so I'm gonna throw it in. I'm gonna throw it in C. Next is Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow by Dean Martin. Dean Martin has a lot of legendary Christmas songs, although I think I would much prefer a set of Christmas songs from Dean Blunt. Regardless, this album cover has always threw me off, kind of hinting at infidelity during this jolly time. I'm not really down with that. However, it is a comforting song, though. I do love the message behind this. It just doesn't really talk about that post-snow clarity that's going to have to come, that the following morning when you have to shovel it all up. It's not going to be a fun one to deal with. So, I mean, sure, let it snow, but I guarantee you you're gonna be like, fuck, it just snowed so much. But I do like its acceptance. I think it's a nice song. You know, it gets you right into the jolly mood right when you get into it. I'm gonna throw it up in the B tier. Next is Sleigh Ride by the Ronettes. This is a Christmas classic. I mean, everything about this song is positive. It has an uplifting mood towards it. Personally, it's never been my vibe, but I haven't been one to shit on it. I would say this song does contradict itself a little bit though. I mean, you want to go for a sleigh ride, but at the same time, you want to stay inside all snuggled up. You know, fucking pick one, please. But I still think it's a classic. We're going to put it up in A. Next, we have Feliz Navidad by Jose Feliciano. Sure, it's repetitive sometimes, I guess, but the message is just so passionately positive that there's nothing I can say wrong about this. Plus, it's super catchy. He sings with so much soul and happiness. I mean, I would have to be a real Grinch, a real Scrooge if I hated on this one. So I'm going to throw it up in S. All right, next we have one of the two jingle bells that are on this list, starting off with Frank Sinatra. This is one that has always kind of, I don't know, it's just Frank Sinatra has some banger Christmas songs, and to me, this just isn't really one of them. Frank just has that voice that you always want to hear him do a nice little simple relaxing melody on. To me, Jingle Bells isn't really that song. When I picture Frank Sinatra doing Christmas songs, I like to imagine him doing the nice little somber ones, relaxing ones that you can kind of put on once the party is over. You can just relax. Jingle Bells to me is an upbeat song that everyone can kind of dance to, sing along to, and enjoy. So hearing Frank Sinatra kind of tame that down a little bit isn't really for me, but it is Frank Sinatra, and I cannot disrespect that. All right, so I'm going to put it in a high B. Next one is Here Comes Santa Claus by Gene Autry. This is a great song. Just talking about how generous Santa Claus is, how he doesn't discriminate towards anyone, all right, how everyone is going to have a good time. Talking about the reindeers as well. To me, this has always been a nice little simple, cute song. All right, it doesn't really have the star power that Feliz Navidad has, but all right, it is incredible. I think I'm going to throw it in the low A tier. Next is Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. One of the GOATs, I gotta say, when it comes to Christmas songs, if there's something that's important, it is designation. All right, designating the first few seconds to really get that jolly vibe. There is not one song that does it better than this song. With the guitar and the vocals kind of amping everything up, really putting that Christmas spirit into your veins before she comes in is incredible. Not to mention the legendary saxophone solo that we get on this song. It's one of the greatest songs, Christmas songs, ever. All right, this is incredible. I certainly do get a sentimental feeling whenever I hear this. I think it's one of the GOATs. I'm putting it in S tier. Next, we have Deck the Halls by Nat King Cole. I do like his jolly spirit on this one. For me personally, I think the vocab and the lyrics on this are just super dated. Honestly, what the fuck is a bough of holly? I will never know. And I feel like I've asked that question so many times, and that question has been answered, and I just keep forgetting. I keep forgetting because Christmas is only once a year. I don't have the time to remember that year round. Don we now our gay apparel. All right, you can't be saying that like that anymore. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. I mean, what are we talking? It's going in the F tier. F standing for fa la 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 la. All right. Anyways, next is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by the Jackson 5, with Michael Jackson being the main singer. It's honestly kind of traumatizing. I mean, imagine walking into the living room on Christmas Day and you see your mother kissing another man. That would send me in a frenzy. But on a deeper level, if you look at Michael Jackson and his upbringing, we start to question, does the dad even deserve to know? Joe Jackson was very abusive towards Michael from what I'm reading online. Now, if you're just a normal surface level listener, then you're going to be like, oh, the song is cute because he doesn't realize that it's the dad that's dressed up as Santa. So when he goes to tattle on his dad, the dad's going to have maybe like a funny response towards it. From what I've read about Joe Jackson online, it is likely that he is more likely to be the Grinch, if anything, than Santa Claus. So I do not think that she was kissing the dad here. You know, that's maybe why she did it. I mean, witnessing her son being whipped, but it is Michael Jackson, so I mean, you gotta throw it up in at least B, you know. Next is Baby It Is Cold Outside by Dean Martin once again, making a second appearance on this list. This is not a jolly anthem. It's not a Christmas anthem. This is a sex offender anthem. At one point in the song, she even slips in the fact that maybe he might have put something in her drink, making all these excuses about it being too cold outside and not the right weather for her to leave. But unfortunately, it just doesn't work. And in the end, I think she ends up leaving. He even says outright that he doesn't want his pride hurt by leaving. So I mean, he's honestly just being a little bitch here. I'm not rocking with it. It just, there's something just rapey and unnerving about this song. It was funny in Elf, but we gotta separate the art. So yeah, it's going an F for felony. Next is Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys. I was surprised seeing this on this list because I'm a big Beach Boys fan, even though I've only heard Pet Sounds. And I listened to the song in preparation for the video, and I didn't remember any of it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. Nothing really bad I can say about it at all. I'm gonna throw it in B. The story of Frosty the Snowman is an unintentionally hilarious one. I mean, imagine a little kid, making a regular snowman, and all of a sudden it comes to life. And rather than the snowman having a jolly time with the kid, playing around with the kid, the snowman automatically takes on a mission. We don't know what his mission is, but he says that he just needs to get the fuck out of there. All right, he needs to leave immediately. He is on the run because, I mean, imagine if the government found out about a live snowman. So honestly, I have sympathy for Frosty. Maybe he feels not as understood as some other. The song is fun to sing along with, but I think the renditions, they're not really all that popular. I think Bing Crosby has a popular one, but for the most part, anyone can really sing this song. I do like it though. I do like Frosty. I think he's a good dude. I'm gonna throw it up in maybe like a high B. Next is Andy Williams. It's the most wonderful time of the year. To me, I don't know why. I don't know if anyone agrees with this, but this has always been like a big city Christmas song. I love the excitement behind his vocals. I love the way it peaks and climaxes towards the end of the song. And just the way everything kicks off with the trumpets, it just gets you in that mood immediately. Similarly to the way Brenda Lee does it on her song. I don't know if it's biased just because I was just there and everything, but I do get like a New York City vibe out of this song. I like it. Rockefeller Center Christmas tree vibes. I'm gonna throw it an S. I'm gonna throw it up an S. Fuck it. I'm more positive today. Next is Wham's Last Christmas. To me, this song transcends Christmas. This is the only song, I think, on this list, period, that you can listen to outside of the month of December. Mainly because the theme of Christmas is merely just the foundation of this song, with his heartbreak story kind of being the main premise of it. His vocals on this are undefeated. I don't got much else to say about it. I think it's the GOAT Christmas song. Nothing is touching this, in my opinion, ever. Putting it at the top of S, and it's likely going to stay there for the rest of the video. Next is Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande. Most new Christmas songs by newer artists today are covers of old ones that are maybe just a cash grab. Although the style and lyrics of the song isn't really for me personally, I do have to give compliments because I think it is original. And it was definitely the most recent Christmas song that I've seen to be that high on the Billboard charts. And I think it's a dope song. I just think its recency kind of kills it. I think for a real Christmas song to be of quality, it needs to stand the test of time. So we're not really quite there yet, but we could be. So I'm gonna throw it in B tier. Next is 12 Days of Christmas. There's just too much things going on in the song. Also, the song is just too long. By time you get to the 12th thing, you've been singing for at least 6 minutes. And it's all that repeating and repeating and repeating. It's just not a fun song to sing to. It's always an obstacle. It's always a chore. It's a task. Christmas shouldn't be like that. It should be relaxing. We're done with this song. Plus, it's too much shit. I just did the math. 78 different things. I don't remember what all those things were specifically, but all I know is that it's just too much. I think Zoop Bakery had a much better version of this. 5 lobster biscuits. Next is Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson. Nothing against Kelly Clarkson, all right? I do like Since You've Been Gone. Now, I hate this song. I don't know why. I feel like this is the song that all the adverts decide to use. So whenever I think of this song, I just think of like a really corporate sound when it comes to Christmas. It's not really the song's fault. It's just kind of every time I hear it, I'm like, oh fuck. It's usually being used in a commercial, I feel, whenever I hear it. And I'm much more of like a chill guy. I'm much more of like hey, let's just relax. Like, let's just chill the fuck out. She's bringing too much energy on this song that I don't need. All right, it's just not for me. Can't think of any words off the top of my head that I could associate this with the F tier, so I'm gonna put it in C for Christmas. All right, next is Bobby Helms, Jingle Bells. I had a little toy Santa growing up that used to sing this song, so I have a very clear bias towards this one. I think it's groovy. I think the jingle is awesome. He definitely does Jingle Bells the best. With that being said, I think he has that iconic Christmas sound voice. All right, he's got it. Next is A Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney, the second Beatles entry that we have on here. I think hating on this song lately has become a trend. I love to hate on songs. However, when other people start doing it, I kind of just, I want to be alone. I want to be alone in that hatred. I don't want to be in a group because that's just mean at that point. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to give Paul McCartney the benefit of the doubt, although I think that a synth should never be used in a Christmas song. It just doesn't get me jolly at all. But I don't want to be like the rest of y'all. All right, so I'm gonna put it in B. Wait, no, I'm gonna put it in C. Justin does his thing. All right, the lyrics are great. His vocals are great. Chorus is great. I like the little moments in between verses where he's like, you. I like that part a lot. I think the main thing with these modern Christmas songs that we're lacking, and I can also say this about Santa Tell Me as well by Ariana, I think the instrumentals are just lacking jolly. I think there's not enough jolly in this instrumental. It's just acoustic guitar. I do like his vocals, but the immediate sound of the song isn't inherently Christmas. It's just in the lyrics. With that being said, I think it's a good spot to put in with Ariana's song as well. I think it's also a B tier. All right, next is Winter Wonderland by Bing Crosby. I think that this is superior to White Christmas. I mean, who doesn't want to walk in a winter wonderland? Lyrics are super relatable. It's nice and chill. I like the vibe of it. I'm going to throw it. Honestly, I'm going to be generous. I'm going to put it in I'll put it in low A. Next, it is time to get Millennial with Michael Bubbley's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And it's not aging that well. I checked the charts lately. He's kind of taken a dump. But this is probably the most successful Christmas album of the 21st century. We can't really hate on it too much. And the start of the song is iconic. So even though it's not for me, I'm going to put my biases aside for a second. All right, I'm going to put it in the F tier. Talking about this next song, I am getting jolly vibes from the better version of It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas from Perry something. The vocal harmonies on this song are fantastic. I love the way the trumpets open it up. There's nothing bad I can say about this. I think it is the superior version. I'm gonna throw it up in A. Next is Elvis with Blue Christmas. The second the song starts, we are immediately hit with his melancholy. There is no doubt to me that this is the saddest Christmas song, in my opinion. All right, unless there's something that I'm forgetting about. I love it. I love his vocals on this song. I love the vocals backing him up. I don't know. Everything about this is fantastic. I don't know if it's just because I prefer the much chiller, somber vibes of Christmas, but I love this song. I'm going to throw it in an S. Next is Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt. Once again, what is up with the spoiled energy, all right, going on with some of these Christmas songs? I mean, I was talking about the kid that wanted a hippo for Christmas, but this just takes that times 10. She's asking for a convertible. She's asking for a yacht. She's asking for all this bullshit, and she feels like she's kind of entitled to it. It's kind of a Christmas sense of entitlement. I don't really like this at all. And it's almost like she's trying to seduce Santa a little bit on this song. Let's not sexualize Saint Nick. All right, that's not cool. Now, I can't think of any F words to describe the song immediately, so I'm going to put it in the C tier for Christmas. Next is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Frank Sinatra. Guys, this is the type of shit that I want to hear him do. All right, I'm glad that he did this. His vocals on this are smooth as butter. It does not get much better than this. There's just a bittersweet feeling to this song that other songs cannot replicate. I think it is a wonderful S tier candidate. I'm going to put it high up there. Next is Chuck Berry coming at us with, what is this one? Rudolph Run. I only remember this song from that one moment in Home Alone where they're kind of like rushing through the airport a little bit to get to France. All right, that scene alone is legendary. That takes me to B tier instantly. But besides that, this song is not really just doing much for me. I mean, I like the anticipation and the adrenaline that is packed within this song. However, I can't really see anything past it. It's just not really my vibe. So I'm going to put it in B. Next is Burl Ives with Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. I mean, this track is great. I mean, there's nothing bad to say about it. When I want to be in a holly jolly mood, he takes me there. He gets me there, all right, with ease. I think it's dope. A tier. Now, I'm not a Grinch fan. All right, he is a bummer. He just brings a bad vibe to the Christmas party that I don't want. All right, I don't want him in my fucking party. And this song kind of insults him in a great way, very detailed way. It gets the job done and it gets the point across effectively. All right, so I think for that reason alone, I'm going to put it in the B tier, but for me, it's just not jolly enough to get to A and S. Next is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Obviously, to me, there's not a really iconic rendition of this that comes to mind, so I kind of just, we're going for all versions of this song for purposes. Rudolph, I love Rudolph. All right, he's just a great dude. All right, underdog of the story. He goes from a beta reindeer to kind of climbing his way up the ranks, and now he leads the fucking pack. He's right in front, getting that shit done. All right, I fuck with this guy heavy. All right, we're gonna put him up in the A tier. Next is Christmas by Darlene Love. Mariah Carey has a version of this, but to me, I prefer this one. You know, the energy and the atmosphere is much more dramatic. It kind of reminds me similar to what's it called? The one by John Lennon. I love the harmonies of Christmas kind of backing up her message. All right, to keep this person here. All right, to bring them home for Christmas, a time where everyone needs to be together. I think it's an incredible song. I'm actually gonna put this one in S. All right, I have a fond feeling of it. Next, we have Christmas Time Is Here from a Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack. All right. This kind of goes for every song off of the record. Everything is a banger off of here. All right. This is a perfect Christmas album vibe. If I had to put an album on to kind of play throughout the background as I was having a jolly day, this would be the one. I love the piano work on here. I love the children's choir in the back. Everything about this is perfect. I'm going to put it in S tier. Now, I know I said Wham wasn't going to get topped, but all right.
Cheers the North throating on their November. Jack Frost sleeping